I don't know how else to describe it. The spirit of doing a video just left me. And friends and neighbors, this is Chuck out at Sheridan Park Farms. Welcome back to the farm. Look at that. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? Mountains of western North Carolina, fall of the year. And we got some fall work that we got to get done today. I have got a couple of loads of logs that we've bought. We'll go out and we'll show you that. We'll talk about what we've got going on out there. We're going to cut some firewood. We're going to get to work, and let's see how we go. Let's see how we go. That sounds pretty stupid. Let's see how things go. Hang on just for a little bit. All right, they have finally arrived. So based on every recommendation that I've gotten from sawmillers that I trust, one being Nathan over at Out of the Woods and the other one being Eric down at the Bearded Lumber, I have bought some Wood-Mizer Silver Tip Turbo 7s off of the infamous Joe Main. So I got a box of 10 and a box of 5, and one of these, the box of 10, is more for the hardwood, and the box of 5 is going to be for knotty pine. So we'll take these out to the sawmill and drop them off here in a few minutes. But first, we got a little other work we need to do. So I had a couple of loads of logs delivered over the past few days, and we'll go out and take a look at those. One of them, some really nice red oak, and the other one is was a truck of mixed stuff. So I'll do a special video for our friends over on Patreon talking about exactly what we paid for those and what I expect them to be worth retail after we get done sawing and that kind of thing. But in that big truckload that I bought, and we'll go look at it in here in a minute, there's a bunch of firewood in there. So I'm gonna get the steel out, get my chainsaw out, we're gonna touch it up just a little bit, and then we'll go out and use the excavator and we'll saw some firewood up. All right, first things first. We're going to put a little finish on our chain, but y'all, I went and got one of these. This is one of those big tool bags from Harbor Freight, and I keep all my chainsaw stuff in here. Keep my helmet, my chaps, keep a tape measure, scrunches, wedges, hatchet, all that stuff. Keep that in here. And I also keep my sharpeners. Now this is one of those steel 2-in-1 sharpeners. My dad was a really good hand at filing a chainsaw, and I just never have been able to get it, but these things are awesome. If you are looking for a good solution to carry with you to sharpen your saw, pick you up one of these. I'll post a link in the description down below for these on Amazon. Make sure you get the right size. So this is for a 3/8 inch chain, which is what I've got on this 500i. Bless them. So we're just going to touch that chain up a little bit. All right, another little trick I picked up. Got this also from Harbor Freight. I am a Harbor Freight fan. I think for the cost, the value is pretty good. I mean, you know, I just don't have tons of money to spend on snap-on tools. But anyway, went to Harbor Freight and got another one of these hard-sided Bauer toolboxes. Should have got the next size up, but we're going to make this work. I have turned this into my grease caddy and keep a couple of tubes of grease in here. Got my battery-powered DeWalt grease gun, a few rags, and then some big cotton tips, cotton swabs for cleaning out around the grease zerks on the tractor and on the not skid steer, good gracious, on the mini excavator. So I'm gonna grease this machine. I put a few hours on it since we bought it. So we're just gonna grease it up, make sure it's good to go. Right here's a good example of why you want to use these cotton swabs. This is a grease zerk down in there. Probably break a stick off it, but look, all that old dried grease sitting in there. You want to clean all that mess out. See, I broke the swab. Clean all that mess out before you start putting your new grease in there so it don't clobber up, and just keeps it neat and clean. I guess you can use a stick here if I don't break it. Yeah, you can use a stick to clean some of this stuff out too. But clean your clean around your fittings before you put grease in your machines. It just helps extend the life of everything and keeps your joints clean and all that kind of thing. I think I need some Q-tips on a 2x2 instead of these little old toothpick things. My gracious, y'all. I don't know how many grease fittings this thing's got on it. What I'm trying to do is look What I'm trying to do is look, and wherever I see a joint or something that moves, I'm looking for a grease fitting. And that's where I'm finding them. Makes sense. So I think I've got all of them I could find clean. Now I'm going to try to go back and hit them all. I bet this whole machine will take a tube of grease to get it done right. When you're greasing these things, it's my understanding you put grease in it till you see your grease start coming out around the edges. Of your joints. Like that right there. Trying to open this. The struggle is real today. It's awful. All right, I think I got most of them. I believe I got more grease on me and on the machine than I did where it was supposed to go in the zerks and all. But, you know, that's the key to these machines, is you got to keep them well greased, take care of them, and they'll last you forever. So I should have counted. Let's see, who knows? At least 20, probably, yeah, at least 20 grease zerks that we hit. So I think we should be pretty good. Need to do this every few hours. I've put, I don't know, I probably put 15 hours on this machine since I got it. So it was definitely time to do it. So we'll come back in another 15 hours or so, 8, whatever. I need to look at the manual and see what it recommends. And we'll re-grease it again. But, and they're everywhere. Okay, now maybe we can get on to the business at hand. First up, 4 very nice red oak logs that I bought from a customer that we had cut about 2,000 board feet from. He called me the other day, said, hey man, I got these, they're really nice, are you interested? We kind of worked out a price, made a deal, and he delivered those. And like I said, I'll do a special video for folks over on Patreon. I'll tell you what I paid for these and then what I think I can get out of them retail. Little over, I think about 860 board feet is what I calculated up right there. And then I've got this. So this is a load, got off of a neighbor, and these guys do tree work, grading, land clearing, that kind of stuff. And I bought this because primarily trying to build a little bit of a relationship with these guys. They're neighbors, good guys. First thing that we've bought off of them. So bought this again to start a little bit of a business relationship. Probably paid a little too much. Not the best stuff in the world, but we can use it. We can do something with it. There's some red oak, some chestnut oak. There's 1 or 2 pieces of white oak. I think there's 2 pieces, maybe looks like maybe 3 pieces of white oak in here that are, the white oak looks like it's good for the sawmill. But there is some stuff in here that I think is just fit for firewood, like this one right here. Not even 9 inches across, so I can't even get a 6x6 out of that. Got a bad dog leg in it. Got some knots on the side. I mean, it's firewood. So I've come through, put a red X on what I think I'm gonna just dig out, and we're just gonna cut up into end rounds for firewood. This is a little bit more of it over here. Again, there's a couple of pieces in here I think might be okay to put on the sawmill. There's some pieces that are gonna be fine for firewood, and we can do something with both of those. So what I'm gonna do right now, so I've been greasing up the old Kubota. We're gonna bring it out here and we're gonna pluck out some of these logs that I think is good for firewood. We'll go ahead and buck those up and get them ready to go back up to the shop so we can split them and stack them away for firewood. And we're starting to get a pretty good, man, this time of year, shooting videos is difficult. I mean, the sun is just in a terrible spot, so I apologize for the lighting on these videos before we go any further. But we're starting to get a pretty good stack of firewood up there. So I'm thinking I'm probably gonna be selling some firewood. I've got about 3 cords right now that are dry that we could potentially sell. Trying to decide how I want to do that. Do I want to do it in baskets? Do I want to do it in bags? Do I want to do like a full cord at a time? I don't have a ton to sell this year, but I do have a little bit. This is more. We got those trees that fell up there. We're going to have even more. We've talked about doing a timber sale here. There's going to be a lot of tops and laps and that kind of stuff. There'll be a ton of firewood in that. So I think it's just going to be another enterprise that we do here on the farm. It's going to be like beef, pork, chicken, and firewood. I mean, it's just something else to sell. There's markets for it. Here in Western North Carolina, we got a lot of trees down right now. I think wood is going to be easy to come by for the next probably couple of years, at least 1.5 years, 2 years. So we're going to try to take advantage of it in an ethical way. So that's why we're doing all this. It's just another enterprise. And whenever you're farming and kind of self-employed and doing this, on your own kind of thing, you got to find different streams of income. Firewood can just be one of them for us, in addition to what we're doing on the sawmill. All right, so the first thing I think I want to do is separate these out into our firewood pile and our lumber pile. And I'm gonna just make this over here my firewood pile, since I got about 4 of them over here that are already earmarked for such an event. Let's see, let's lay this out here somewhere else. We're going to have to restack a bunch of stuff here sometime. Well, that'll get you kind of squirrely right there in the seat of the pants, won't it? Let's come down just a little bit. Got a little too much elevation there. About 3 over here I think was fit for lumber. I think this is the last one. It was 4. I would get out and look. about to get out and look. Let me get out and look and see what we got. Oh. Last one back. Yeah, I got that last one back over in the corner. I can get to it here. Hit that button. Magic button. That's our last sawmill log right there out of that group over there. Everything else, firewood. There we go. Now, I gotta go over here and find my firewood poles in this bunch. All right, y'all, I think I'm gonna stop right here for the day. I've got to run to town. It's getting late. The light is horrible. And the mood to do this has just left me. So I'm gonna cut out for the day. We'll get back on this tomorrow. All right, it is next morning and I'm in a little better frame of mind today. I don't know what happened yesterday when I started shooting this video. Got down there and got to working and just, I don't know how else to describe it. The spirit of doing a video just left me and I just couldn't get my mind around it. So, a little better outlook this morning. Jacob, the young man that works for us, is not here today. So I'm gonna do chores. Let's get some stuff around. We'll go up and feed the pigs. We'll go see the egg chickens. I've got one little batch of meat chickens left. We've got to get them processed. We'll talk about them in a minute. And we'll see the turkeys. So let's get some feed gathered up. All right, for those of you that hadn't seen, we repurposed our feed barn. And we've moved all of our feed over here because we've got hay on the other side. I like this. It's actually working out pretty good. Not as much floor space, but we're not storing as much feed at a time right now anyway, so it actually works out pretty good. So I didn't bring the microphone, I just whipped my camera out here. Came up and fed the pigs this morning, brought them a bucket of pears. Listen. They love pears. We had a couple pear trees down here at the bottom of the hill. Sonner has made some pear butter. We've given some away. And every morning there's always a bunch on the ground. So every once in a while I'll try to get a bucket of pears, bring up here and give to the pigs. But they absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Gonna breed here in about a month and a half or 2 months. And then we got our buddy Patch over here. Little brown guy with a white stripe there. He just kind of hangs out. He's a barrow. We castrated him at about 7 weeks old. Pear flavored pork. That That may be a marketing idea right there. All right, let's talk turkey for just a minute. So these are our turkeys, and we started out with 20 this year instead of, I think we started out with 200 last year. And so the reason we only started with 20 this year and not this large number that we've done in the past is, we talked about it on another video, we've had some kind of issue in this pasture with where previous folks had spread commercial chicken manure. It creates this liver problem in turkeys. We'll turn that fence back on. It creates a liver problem in turkeys, and it will kill them. And so we started out with 20. We lost one in the brooder, and we've lost one out here on pasture. And the one that we lost here on pasture, Sandra did do a post-mortem on it, and it had that spotty liver disease. I don't remember what it's called. Folks have asked. There's not a cure for it that we know of. We've talked to a vet about it. It's just something that's in the ground that comes from commercial chicken litter. So instead of buying 200 and losing half of them like we did last year, we're just going to do a small batch, kind of retest and figure out maybe ways to mitigate it. We're moving real regular once a week and that kind of thing. Seeing if that helps. Turkeys really are a lot of fun to raise. They're very social animals. When you come out to the pasture and you bring feed or just come to see them, unlike chickens, they'll kind of follow you around. Pour feed in their feeder and they won't eat it out of the bucket. One's probably enough for y'all anyway. All right, had to do a little hose maneuver in there. Alrighty, turkeys. All right, had to do some more hose rearranging. The things that make you go, huh? Already. Stupid geese. All right, that's everybody on chores. Egg birds, they look good. We have seen, over the past couple of weeks, we've seen a real decrease in our egg production. You know, all summer long, we've been able to sell as many eggs as we could get and need to sell more. But over the past couple of weeks, like this morning, Sandra had a delivery. She only had 4 to be able to take this morning. Our Boone market earlier in the week, we only had 7 there. 3 of those were pre-ordered, so we're just not, hey Ange, we're just not getting very many eggs at all right now. We've had a little cold snap, days are getting shorter, so I think both of those things are contributing to it. Sandra and I have talked about turning the light back on. I just need to go out and do that, hook that thing back up, get the timer set, and all the stuff that goes along with that. But egg birds looking good. Those meat birds, they look real good. We'll probably process them. Hopefully, we may process them tomorrow or in the next couple days. Turkeys are doing great. Pigs, y'all saw the pigs. Man, they look fantastic. Pigs love this time of year. And I didn't show the cows because I moved them yesterday afternoon, but saw them earlier this morning. Everybody was there. Everybody looks good, and the cows are doing fine. So that's an update on the animals, what's happening around here with critters. Now, I think I'm going to get back to working on this pile of firewood that I got up here. I need to get some of this cleaned up, some of it out of the way. I've got a real mess in my field up here where the log yard is. So let's go get the chainsaw, all that kind of stuff, and we'll get back to work on getting that firework and see if we don't end up in a little better frame of mind today to get some of that done. Okay, so on the part that I filmed yesterday that you saw earlier in this video, just a quick reminder, bought this load of logs off of some neighbors. Some good saw timber in there, some firewood, so we're gonna cut the firewood up. Primary reason I bought, working on developing a relationship with those guys and buying something off of them. So I've got most of my firewood up here. I'm gonna take the excavator, pick it up, we're gonna swing it around over here to right in front of the trailer so that it's not in the road. I'll cut it there. And I know I'm handling a bunch. It's just the way it is right now until we can figure out a better system. Once we cut it, then we'll stack it on the, we'll put it on the buggy, we'll take it up to the shop where we can split it and then put it in some baskets or whatever we're gonna end up doing with it up there. So let's grab a couple up. I've got chainsaw with me. I've got to mark it, some lumber crayon, so we'll mark it off in 16 inches and start cutting up some rounds. Let's see, prime it a couple times. Watch out, Sophie. You're all in the way. All right, there it is. Taken the better part of 2 days to get done and still not completely finished, but I think I've had enough. I've had enough for the day. This has ended up taking all day between chores, and I've had folks come by and first one thing and another. So it's taken a little longer than I'd expected. I want to apologize to y'all for this video kind of breaking up sort of there in the middle. When I was working on this yesterday, got started and was off to a pretty good start, and then I just had this mental block, this writer's block, whatever you want to call it, that I just lost the mojo. I lost the spirit on doing the video and just could not go any farther. And I've been doing videos now for almost 5 years. Be 5 years into this year. And I've just had a little bit of a struggle lately, particularly since the storm, of creatively coming up with good content and things to film. And I know people say, well, just film what you're doing. And I try to do some of that. But even then, you've got to weave it together. You've got to kind of create this continuity of a story in it. And it just, for the past, I guess 3 or 4 weeks now, I've had trouble since I had to respond to this. So when I start doing videos, if I can do one after another, after another, after another, it kind of flows and you kind of get in this rhythm and you're working and you're going and you're shooting and you're filming and you're editing and all that kind of stuff. And it works out, for me, it works out pretty good. But then I got kind of busy with the storm response, thankful that I could, glad to be in a job where I could go help people, not complaining at all about that, but being out of pocket, off farm for chunks of time really just kind of got me out of rhythm, and I've had trouble getting back in. I do have another video that's sitting in the queue that I've done. It's part of a promotional deal for the folks at Land Guard. I've done the video, shot it, was ready to let it go. And they said, can you hold it till the 1st of November? So I've got that video in the queue. That'll be coming out here probably sometime in the next 7 days or so. But anyway, apologize for the video being kind of broken. A couple other things. A friend of mine came by a little while ago. We're going to work on putting a building around our well out at the barn that feeds all of this lower field down here. For years, we've wrapped that thing in insulation. We've put a tarp around it and just called it good. This year, we're working on, we're going to build a shed around that thing. He came and set the post for it a couple months ago and just hadn't had a chance to get back. So he came over, we looked at the cut sheet, figured out what we needed to saw on the sawmill, and we're going to be enclosing that. So that'll be coming up here in a week or so. So that'll be something kind of cool to film. Have a couple of guys over here working, a couple of fun guys. It's going to be fun to, it's going to be a lot of fun to shoot video with them. So excited about that. But while he was here, he asked me, he said, what? He said, you know, you started farming and then now you got the sawmill, and what else are you going to get into? And I got to thinking about that while I was moving a lot of this. It's a great time to think. Physically active, you're doing stuff. It's a good time to just kind of run things through your mind. And I got to thinking, I don't know that I'm going to get into anything else. But you never know. I don't know what opportunity may present itself. You know, we've been at this farming thing now for, the whole thing really kind of started about 10 years ago. There's a backstory behind the story. And someday I'll tell that, but the whole thing started about 10 years ago this month. And we're at a really good place. We have, we've been blessed we started at the smaller farm down in Greensboro. We've got the larger farm here now. We've been able to, we've been smart with our money. We bought the sawmill, we bought the excavator. And so we've got, some tools and some things to work with that makes what we do a whole lot easier and a whole lot more enjoyable. There's nothing else that, I guess really the question behind the question is, what else do you want? Well, there's really nothing else that I do want. We live out here in a rural setting by ourselves. We don't have any neighbors that we can see from the house. We've been blessed to be able to build something that's ours. We've built a nice little small business with the farm. We're starting to build a little bit of a business with the sawmill. The firewood thing, that'll be part of the farm deal. But we've built something that's ours, that we started from scratch, that we own, and that it's our creation. And that's a big thing now. I've got friends that have multiple businesses that do multi-million dollars a year in business, and then I've got friends that work a 9 to 5 and everything in between. And it's really nice to have something that you've built that's your own. It's not huge. It's something that we can manage. It provides a very nice lifestyle for us. And there's nothing else that I want. Son and I are in a really good place right now, personally, with the business, with the farm, with life in general. We've both got, our health is really pretty good. We're just really blessed. We're just really blessed. And then to be able to get out here and lug these things around, some of those rounds I bet are 80 pounds or better, and they're heavy. To be able to get out here and lug these things around, I'm just blessed beyond belief. So what am I going to get into next? Don't know what opportunity will present itself, but what else do I want? Can't say that there's anything else that I want. I just want my family to be healthy and happy, and us to continue doing what we're doing and keep on keeping on, Don't take a whole lot. Don't take a whole lot at all. Anyway, didn't mean to get to waxing poetic, but like we always say, please keep us in your prayers, and God bless you and your families, and we'll see you on the next video.